Love is in the air. Or is it just the smell of overpriced prefix menus and desperation? Either way, we're embracing the romance this week by breaking down our all-time favorite on-screen love stories. From grand gestures to devastating heartbreak, from the perfectly scripted to the so bad they're iconic. We're talking about the movies that make us swoon, sob, and send unhinged texts at 2 a.m. So grab some wine, settle in, and open your heart. If Hollywood has taught us anything, it's that nothing says forever like a well-timed montage or musical number. Let's do this.
Hello.
Hello.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Week-ish.
Wait, is this...
It's the 14th of February, Jenny.
No, I know, but what day of the week is it?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Unhinged.
Welcome.
I am Ryan something.
And I am a 19th century courtesan dying of tuberculosis.
Great.
Also known as Jen Katz.
That's fantastic.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Jenny.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
I love our listeners.
We
and
love you
and
all.
our watchers.
Yeah. Hope you all are having a lovely day.
Yes. Welcome to Unhinged, our weekly podcast where we get together and talk about what's new in pop culture, what we are watching, reading, listening to.
And we're in a new studio space.
We are. Same space, different configuration.
Yeah. We've got our bookcases behind us.
We know that you'll love it.
Yeah.
As we do.
We do.
Yeah.
So thanks. Thanks for sticking with us through all of our many studio iterations and configurations.
Jenny, how are you?
I'm great. It's been a really interesting week. I mean, last week we went to a great author reading. Would you say what do you describe the event we went to last week?
This was a reading at the Catherine Ann Porter House and Literary Center. This was put on by the Texas State University MFA Creative Writers Program. And the Catherine Ann Porter House Board and Foundation, along with Texas State University, invites visiting authors to come in and do readings and book signings.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was a lot of fun. It's really unique to be able to meet with some of the world's and our country's most prolific and talented writers, whether they're poets or novelists.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great, and I'm so glad that you joined me.
Yeah, it was great. It's been a busy week. We had the Super Bowl on Sunday. What a game.
What a game.
What a game.
Winners going to win.
Winners are going to win.
Losers going to lose.
They are. I went to a bread making class. Yeah. There's been a lot going on this weekend. There's a lot going on this week. And, you know, it's blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Lots of stuff happening. It is, we are in the thick of Mardi Gras season.
We are. I want to order a king cake.
Come on.
I know.
Let's go get one.
Where's the place you guys got the ones when we went to New Orleans a few years ago?
Manny Randazzo's. Yeah.
So good.
So good. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hop in the car.
But before we do that.
Yeah. What else is in the air?
Love.
L'amour.
L'amour. Yes. Love is in the air. And you know.
You can feel it all around.
Oh, that's a great song. Valentine's Day is one of those things for me. I'm going to sound like such a curmudgeon. It's such a commercialized holiday. And like we alluded to in our cold open, like you try to go out to eat. You've got this special Valentine's Day menu. It's just such a, and it's made such a big deal of, like, I remember as a kid, you're sweating. You're like, am I going to get Valentine's? Someone going to ask me to be their Valentine? It's too much pressure. I don't like it.
As a kid, I thought Valentine's was going to be like a bigger holiday than what it is. And then you grow up and you're like, okay, this is shit.
This is shit. You don't need a day to express your love for your loved ones.
Yeah. It's been very commercialized.
Yeah.
But I do believe that it's good to have time collectively for all of us to reflect about the people who matter most to us in our lives. And our loved ones, our romantic loved ones, our friends, and the people who mean the most to us. So happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. From us to you.
Yeah. One thing I do like about Valentine's Day in this season is watching romantic movies. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So today,
Do you need a gummy?
what?
Do you need a gummy?
I already did.
Oh,
Waiting for it to kick in.
there we go. All right.
A mint.
So today we're going to talk about some of our favorite romantic movies.
Yes.
Obviously, the list is very long.
It's extensive.
There is absolutely no way that we can get to the best romantic films ever made.
Yeah.
But we do have a handful that are go-tos for us around this time of year. So we thought that we'd share those with you.
Would. Think of it as a little Valentine's Day treat from us to you.
Tis.
Cue the swelling music. All right.
All right.
All right.
Jenny.
Ryan.
You have one film in particular that is your favorite romantic movie. We have watched it a number of times. And I know that it's very near and dear to your heart. And maybe you want to tell us what it is.
Moulin Rouge.
Uh-oh.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, not just romantic movies. I freaking love this movie. I'm obsessed with Moulin Rouge.
There was a boy, a very strange and something
is that in
boy.
That movie?
Yeah.
Is that the David Bowie song?
Uh-huh. Well, before that, it was...
I always skipped that one.
Nat King Cole.
Yeah, see, I skipped that.
Yeah. I mean, the whole theme, it travels throughout the entire film, which is the greatest gift you'll ever learn is just to love
and be
to
loved
be
in
loved
return.
in return. Yeah, that's the song. And it's the opening line to the film.
I know that. I'm misremembering the song, I guess.
We love Moulin Rouge.
I saw this in the theater. So, a little bit of background on the film. Moulin Rouge came out in 2001. Holy Moses. It was...
If you saw it in the theater, you should schedule your colonoscopy appointment.
Not me. I was 11. I saw it in the theater.
You should still schedule your colonoscopy.
Not yet, sir.
All right.
It was produced, directed, and co-written by Baz Luhrmann. Ever heard of him? I mean, he directed Romeo and Juliet, Australia. He's a prolific musical director, to say the least.
Yeah, very different.
Yes.
And how he approaches directing and cinema and cinematography, elaborate costumes,
set pieces,
cast. Just amazing what Baz can accomplish.
I loved his Great Gatsby. I feel like that was not as successful as some of his other ones. I really loved it. And the Elvis movie, he was not the problem with the Elvis movie.
Okay.
It was Colonel Tom Hanks for me. No, but anyway. Okay. So.
You just killed any buzz I had about Moulin Rouge.
Sorry. Damn it. Okay.
Colonel Parker.
When I left the theater after seeing it with your mom and Jen and Tekla, I was like, am I on crack? Because all three of them were like, they were like, it was so good.
I know. I cannot.
Like, no. Yeah. Okay. So Moulin Rouge is the story of a young English writer played by Ewan McGregor, hot as
Love
Christian,
him.
Who moves to Paris to join the Bohemian movement.
All you need is love.
Please don't stop that again.
All you need is love.
So he goes to Paris. He wants to be a writer.
Because that's where you go.
That's where you go. And the greatest gift you'll ever learn is to be loved. Wait, yes.
Is just to love.
Thank you.
And to be loved in return.
That's kicking in now. Okay. So he goes to Paris. He immediately, within his first day, gets thrust into this bohemian circle with Toulouse-Lautrec, played by John Leguizamo, which we can recognize is problematic, an able-bodied person playing someone who was not able-bodied.
Yeah, but man, his performance was
he's great
incredible.
As Toulouse.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Christian. Yeah, he's so good. The narcoleptic Argentinian. It's just this ragtag crew that go to the Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
And he falls instantly in love.
Who wouldn't?
With the lead performer / courtesan Satine, played by Nicole Kidman.
Movie
stunning,
star.
Hot. I just
peak Nicole Kidman.
Peak Nicole Kidman. her hair, all the color saturation, the beautiful red hair. I'm not getting into Nicole Kidman's wigs right now. That's a whole other podcast.
It's bubbling below the surface. Which is why we went to hair first, describing how beautiful she looked.
She looks stunning in this movie when she's wearing the red dress, the corset. It's beautiful. It's, as we mentioned, it's a musical. The musical numbers, it's, I would say, a jukebox musical. It does a bunch of mashups of really popular songs, recreations of popular music. I can't say enough.
It was groundbreaking.
How much I love this movie. Yeah, it was groundbreaking.
It was.
And of course, you know, they're in love. She's jaded. He's this like wide-eyed romantic. And they have an affair, but meanwhile, she's supposed to be carrying on with the Duke, who is financially backing the Moulin Rouge's first stage musical. Mm-hmm. She's trying to get out of the life. She wants to be a real actress.
Yes.
But
hang tight, Nicole.
Spoiler alert.
We got a baby girl.
For a movie that's over 20 years old. 20 years. She's dying.
No.
Yeah.
Of tuberculosis.
She's coughing blood into her hanky.
Yeah.
She's passing out. It's not going to be good. And it's not. She dies at the end. But it's a beautiful movie. The Elephant Love medley.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just can't say enough about this movie. And Ewan McGregor, he sings. He's so earnest.
He really is.
He is so earnest.
Yeah, he gave it his all. And so did Nicole.
They did. It's a great movie.
The musical numbers are incredible across the board. The soundtrack is truly amazing. Mm-hmm. I remember after the film came out and having seen it, it's visually, artistically, just a stunning film.
Yeah.
And a piece of cinematography. But the soundtrack, the musical score alone is amazing. It's just completely separate. So I really enjoyed this film. I always love going back and watching it. I absolutely love the story. Of course, it is tragic, but it's heartwarming throughout. And yeah, I'm here for it. I'll always have it at the top of the list.
The chemistry between Christian and Satine, is so beautiful. And just, I mean, it checks all the boxes for me. It's Belle Epoque Paris.
Yeah.
It's, Forbidden Love. It's Penniless Artist, Starving Artist, La Boheme. Yeah. It's, truth, beauty, freedom, love. It's everything to me. I love this movie. I have seen the Broadway show when they traveled to Texas. I'm going to see it again this year.
Oh, cool.
It's so good. It's just a beautiful movie. If you have not seen Moulin Rouge, do yourself a favor. And if you're still listening after we spoiled it, good for you. But
yeah, or if you haven't seen it in a while, give it a go.
Back. Yeah, it's a great movie to watch on Valentine's Day because it's a comedy, it's tragedy, it's a love story.
La Boheme is one of my absolute favorite musical numbers. It's an opera.
Yeah.
And I love how it just is mashed up and they take this classic story, almost like a Romeo and Juliet, and recreate it in something that was fun and of the time. Like you said, mashing up different songs. They literally use the music from the opera, and then they also use music from Police and Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Does the whole number
comes down on that swing to start singing Diamonds Are a Girl.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. It's great, and it's just very clever intellectually the way that they weave everything together.
I could spend an hour and a half just on Moulin Rouge. That version of Roxanne, the Tango de Roxanne, is so fucking good.
Perfect placement in the film too.
Why does my heart cry? And then they're doing the Roxanne. It's so good. Okay.
Elton John. It's just the entire medley throughout the show is fantastic.
No notes.
No notes.
No notes. The only note I have is Nicole, get back to that wig maker, babe.
Please. We're all tired of hearing about it. And
we love you.
We're tired of seeing it.
But what is happening? Okay, Ryan.
I don't know what that wig and baby girl was, but how far we have come from 2001 to 2024.
Should be better.
Yeah.
You can't even CGI it. Like, I can't. Okay. Ryan.
Jenny.
What is a movie?
Oh.
Okay. What's one of your movies? What's like your top romantic film that you just keep going back to?
My Romantic Roman Empire
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
is one, of course, I love a love story that's got a little bit of like heaviness to it.
Yeah.
And my favorite at the top, and certainly in my top 3 favorite films ever made, is the 1998 adaptation of Charles Dickens's Great Expectations.
When I saw that you put this on the list, I was like, I don't think I've seen this since like the year 2000.
It is a stunning film that literally changed my life in the way that I saw cinema, the way that
Wow.
I processed and understood soundtracks and album scores to films, and how the emotional response that music can elicit from an audience
Yeah.
is so impactful. But if you blend it with stunning visuals, cinematography, costuming, locations, casting, you have an incredible film and piece of cinematic artwork. The film, again, 1998, was directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
Clairon, yeah.
Yeah. Starring Ethan Hawke,
That was peak Ethan Hawke.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh,
Ethan Hawke
yeah.
didn't want to do the film. Ethan Hawke, Gwyneth Paltrow, Hank Azaria.
I have such a like mad crush on Hank Azaria.
So
I
do I.
love Hank Azaria.
Chris Cooper, who this film sold him as one of my all-time favorite actors.
I didn't know that.
Chris Cooper, Anne Bancroft, who
We love.
you know, we hadn't seen in a while, and all of a sudden she makes this appearance as one of the lead roles in this film, playing Mrs. Dinsmore, who is the adaptation of Miss Havisham, or Miss Havish.
Havisham, yes,
Yeah,
Miss
Miss
Havisham.
Havisham, and Robert De Niro, who just has a short time on screen, but his performance is really impactful. This, again, is a modern adaptation of the 1861 work by Dickens. I love the location because we're no longer in gloomy old England back in the 1860s.
Florida, right?
We are in the Florida Panhandle, and we are in Manhattan, two places that are known for, you know, extreme wealth. And the soundtrack of this film is absolutely incredible. Tori Amos actually wrote the song Siren for this
I don't
film,
remember that
which
one.
fantastic song. I haven't listened to Tori Amos in a while. Go back, because every now and then it's just nice to hit
It
the
just
90s.
hits right.
It just hits right.
Yeah.
The film score was written by the Scottish composer Patrick Doyle, and Patrick Doyle's done a number of incredible epic film scores. Have to check it out. And several variations of the song Besame Mucho, Kiss Me
A lot.
My Love, Kiss Me a Lot, is played throughout this film. And I love how the director uses music repeatedly, and also uses artwork and color throughout this film.
I need to go back and watch this. Like I said, I haven't seen this since I was a child, and I definitely did not appreciate it the way that I would now.
I was captivated by this film when it came out. The artwork in this film was just stunning. All of the portraits that were done of the main characters were actually done by an artist named Francesco Clemente. He's an Italian painter. The thing that caught my attention most about this film were the things that were subtle and not necessarily what was coming out of the script or the writing, which is great, not to take anything away from that. But throughout this film, you'll notice from start to finish, the color green is deliberately used as an artistic decision by the director and the cinematographer, Emmanuel Lubezki. The color green really serves as like a unifying visual motif throughout the film that reinforces the themes of what the color green stands for throughout time, which is longing, transformation, fate, and the unattainable desires, which is repeated throughout this entire. It's Great Expectations.
Right.
It's, as Ethan Hawke's character says, it's the things we cannot have, but we long for. It's envy. So the symbolism of green throughout this entire film is subtle until you pick it up, and all of a sudden you see green everywhere.
Oh, I love that.
It's incredible. Obsession and desire, heavily associated with Gwyneth Paltrow characters, who, you know, is always set in green, whether it's a green dress or she's in a green setting in some sort of a background with
God,
Finn, which is Ethan Hawke's character.
Gwyneth Paltrow
paying
really gave
attention.
it to us in the 90s and the 2000s.
Wealth and corruption. She comes from a very wealthy family from the Panhandle, the richest lady in Florida's essentially like foster daughter who she raises. So you have, green hues that symbolize the pursuit of success and how ultimately it can corrupt and distort one's sense of self. Decaying and the passage over time with Miss Dinsmore, played by Anne Bancroft. Where she resides in Florida is a decaying mansion that's just overgrown with moss and vines and green-lit shadows. The color really represents like her stagnation in where she is, because she never got over the love that left her at the altar.
Yeah.
It's just really heartbreaking and echoes that. And then, destiny and transformation. Water. You see water from the first scene all the way till the end of the film. Water has a role throughout this entire film. And again, it's a way to visualize the motif of the entire story of often the water is tinted a color green, which reinforces the idea that Finn's journey, which is Ethan Hawke's character, is very fluid, but predetermined. It's just an absolutely artistic film that is much deeper than I think people really gave the film credit for when it first came out.
Yeah.
Didn't get the best reception from the critics. One of my teachers from grade school was very excited to see a new adaptation of Great Expectations, and she saw it and absolutely hated it.
Oh no.
She was so angry with the adaptation.
Really?
I loved it and embraced it.
Yeah.
So I love that the color green is saturated throughout this entire film and very carefully in different tones and color palettes that create this dreamlike, almost surreal atmosphere that underscores the theme of the story. It's an artistic choice that, in my opinion, really elevates this film beyond just a straightforward adaptation. It is visual poetry interpreting, Charles Dickens' classic film. I love it. It is heartfelt. There is a push and a pull. He's constantly trying to, Ethan Hawke's character is trying to connect with Gwyneth Paltrow's character. There is a connection between the two of them.
Yeah.
She kisses him when they're kids. They spend time together. They learn to dance together. They love to dance together. But of course, Miss Havisham, or Mrs. Dinsmore, has other plans for her daughter, which is basically to protect her from men or from lovers who may harm her. And in doing so, she actually causes more harm to Gwyneth Paltrow's character. It is a tale almost as old as time, but it's Dickens. And it's just a phenomenal story about love, the things that we cannot have, desire, want, envy.
Such a good book too.
Lust, the power dynamics. It's a stunning film, and it's beautiful. I won't ruin the ending for everyone, but you can read the book.
Okay.
Yeah, or watch the film. Anyway, highly recommend it.
Why not both?
Yeah, I love it. It is.
Well, I want to watch it now.
Okay, Jenny, what else you got?
So number 2 on my list.
Oh yeah.
Something's Gotta Give, which I know you love this movie.
I do. I'm so happy to see it.
Yeah. It's a 2003 film that was written, produced, and directed by one Nancy freaking Myers.
We
love you, Nancy.
We love a Nancy Myers film.
I love this movie.
Everyone's like, shut up, you white people.
I know. Oh, the white people like Nancy Myers? Wow.
Imagine that.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah. This was great.
I love this movie. I've realized as we're talking and making this list, these are all films I saw as a child before I had like romantic relationships. So it's really interesting. I don't know. There's no like recent movies that I've seen as an adult with that I keep going back to. These are all movies I saw when I was a kid. I mean, I guess a preteen, but I love this movie. It stars Diane Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Keanu Reeves, Amanda Peet, and Frances McDormand. It's like a modern day story. It's set, in the early 2000s. Diane Keaton is this prolific playwright named Erica Berry.
Yeah.
Her daughter, played by Amanda Peet, is at her Hamptons house with her much older boyfriend, played by Jack Nicholson, who's a record executive.
Yeah.
He's a playboy. He's never married. And, you know, due to some comic hijinks, Jack Nicholson's character, Harry, has a heart attack and has to stay at the Hamptons house and is cared for by Erica. And they
has a heart attack while he's in the moment.
He's getting ready to. They don't actually consummate it.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So he and, you know, his girlfriend, Diane Keaton's daughter, played by Amanda Peet, are getting frisky. Before anything can really happen, he has a heart attack.
He crashes.
Yes, and he's taken to the hospital, and he is attended to by
very fine-looking doctor,
played by Keanu Reeves, a young Keanu Reeves,
a peak Keanu Reeves.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh my gosh!
And he's immediately infatuated with Diane Keaton, as you would be.
Yes. Are you the author, Erica Berry? The Erica Berry?
Yeah, and she's like, what? I mean, she speaks fluent French. She
love
cooks.
the sister,
so
love the daughter, and they're just like, oh.
Yeah, Frances McDormand plays Diane Keaton's sister.
We love you.
She's like a crunchy women's history professor at like Berkeley or something. It's great.
It's a great character.
And it's Nancy Meyers, so it's a beautiful house in the Hamptons.
Of course.
Beautiful kitchens, beautiful clothes. Yeah. I mean, it's
beautiful.
It's a beautiful film. It's hysterical. It is, you know, made in 2003, so it is very of its time.
It is.
But Jack Nicholson is hilarious.
I think it might be one of his best roles.
I think it is too.
His best. And that's saying a lot considering that he won Oscars for stuff back in the 70s.
You know, this was at a time in his career where he was doing some like different things. He was doing this. He did Anger Management, which I love that movie with Adam Sandler.
He's unhinged in that
It's
film.
a great movie.
But it's
Marissa Tomei. That movie is off its cracker.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie.
It is good. That's a good little romantic comedy too.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know if I'd call it. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, they get together and he proposes to her. And
it's
all set up.
It's all a setup. Yeah. I love this movie. I watch it. We watched it with my husband, and it's now one of his favorite movies. We go back, we watch this quite a bit. So
great soundtrack.
So you are a woman to love.
Incredible soundtrack. So quotable.
So quotable.
I say that a lot to folks, mostly my friends who get the reference.
Yeah.
You are a woman to love. And that line just hangs in the movie, and she's like,
yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean? It's just perfect for the characters.
It's so good.
And hey, we get a scene with Diane Keaton.
Oh, we do.
In the buff.
We do, and
we get to see respectfully. Listen, you know how I feel about Diane Keaton, and I've had this feeling about her for many years.
You love her.
She is at the top of my list. Diane, if you're listening,
give him a call.
Let's have tea or coffee or just a play date. Let's hang out. But
not a play date.
When she disrobed in Something's Gotta Give.
Woo! Come on.
Hey, gal. Hot, respectfully.
Very much so.
Very much so. And I love the story of individuals of a certain age and a certain place in their life still finding romance and love and desire, feeling desired and actually having desires.
Yeah.
And I think this story really blends the perfect, playboy mentality and attitude, very patriarchal,
very sexist,
very sexist from his point of view. I mean, the opening monologue.
Oh God, yeah.
The cold open with him narrating the opening, and all it is shots of
women,
beautiful women models walking around Manhattan and other places.
It is of its time.
It's of its time, but it's also setting up for the shift, which is, you get Frances
McDormand.
Thank you. You get Frances McDormand in that beautiful scene in the kitchen after dinner where she's like, hey, you are a woman who has your shit together.
Yeah.
You have everything. There's
successful.
No reason you're successful. And she's like, you stay at home night after night. She's like, one night would have been fine. It's great. And so you see this shift in the character. And this is what's beautiful about Jack Nicholson and his role in being able to shift from that more misogynistic point of view to like really processing how his behavior has affected his
life,
relationships, the women in his life, his relationships, and his life overall.
Yeah.
And all of that comes to a head where he literally just lets it all out the same way that she did when she, got her feelings hurt. It's stunning. We won't ruin the ending if you've never seen it.
It does end in Paris, though.
But we do visit Paris.
We do.
And it's
so
just
good.
a wonderful scene.
Yeah.
I would kill to be in that scene, in that restaurant with those actors.
I mean, Diane Keaton smoking a cigarette. Come on.
With Keanu Reeves' arm around her.
And
Jack Nicholson sitting across the table
with
drinking
his scarf. He's got his scarf.
And trading glasses.
The trading glasses. Yeah. It's so cute.
So great.
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Madam.
Talia
please
scratched.
Clean those.
No, I did.
No,
they're scratched. Talia's scratched them. Yeah, they are dirty.
I love that scene. It's so cute. It's so well done. And it's very adult. It's an
adult movie. Please hold.
Holding.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. So Something's Gotta Give, which I know you love as well.
In fact, most Nancy Meyer films, I think if you give them a shot, there's another one that has Meryl Streep and
it's
Alec
complicated
and Steve Martin. It's complicated.
I love that one so much.
That's another great romantic comedy. Nancy Meyer's. Anyway, do yourself a favor. Check out both of those if you can.
Oh, God, that's great. Okay, Ryan, what you got next?
Okay, I've got a twofer.
Oh, okay.
This is great. I couldn't talk about one without talking about...
I love that.
Okay, one of my favorite romantic movies of all time was the classic Sabrina.
Okay.
That Billy Wilder's 1954 classic romantic comedy about a chauffeur's daughter who transforms and catches the attention of the wealthy brothers, in which her family has been working for a number of years. The original in 1954 stars Audrey Hepburn as Sabrina, Humphrey Bogart as Linus, which is just one of my favorite characters in cinematic history, and William Holden playing David. All of these characters are favorites of mine. Not to mention, all of these actors are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn.
Come on.
Humphrey Bogart.
Come on.
And William Holden in 1954. Peak of this classic film time period.
The costuming in that movie is so beautiful.
Yeah, Edith Head won the Oscar for best costumes, but it was revealed later that Audrey Hepburn was wearing Givenchy. And Givenchy and Edith Head, until Edith's death, went back and forth about who contributed the most.
Oh,
but it was revealed that the classic little black dress that she wears in the film was actually designed by Givenchy. But yes, her costuming throughout this film is incredible. The tone and the style is elegant.
Yeah.
It's whimsical. It is classic Hollywood romance.
It's so beautiful.
With witty dialogue at its peak.
Yep.
At its best. Humphrey Bogart unexpectedly was cast in this role. It was initially awarded to Cary Grant. He was considered for the role of Linus.
But
he declined it, and I don't know why he declined it.
Cary Grant declined it?
There's got to be a reason, and I'm sure the cinephiles are screaming. I don't know, probably because he was very busy around this time period. So Humphrey Bogart ended up stepping in and taking the role, which was unusual for Humphrey Bogart because he was the film noir tough guy,
right?
Man's man. But he took on this role, and you got to see a whole nother side of him as a romantic lead. He tried, he tried to have his wife, Lauren Bacall, cast as Sabrina, but didn't work. He complained about Audrey Hepburn. He thought it was too many takes that they had to do the scenes. But overall, the film comes out all right.
I love Lauren Bacall, but it's an Audrey Hepburn role.
I love Lauren Bacall, and she's great in all the early films with Bogart. But the chemistry between Bogart and Bacall is
amazing.
Just amazing and hot. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
William Holden stars in 1954. He plays the brother, David. He's the effortless charm playboy
I love that.
Character. William Holden is one of my favorite actors. May he rest in peace. He also was nominated for an Oscar for the film Network that starred...
I haven't seen that.
William Holden, and it starred Albert Finney, and it starred... Albert Finney and Faye Dunaway. William Holden, I don't know if this is not a little known fact, but if you're new to kind of cinema and cinephile and classic films, William Holden actually met his demise in his apartment by being way too intoxicated, falling over and hitting his head. A loss of a talent. Go watch Sabrina, 1954. William Holden is just so fun and has great chemistry with Audrey Hepburn, as does Bogart. The love affair on set with William Holden and Audrey Hepburn really added to the spice and the believability of it all. This was remade in 1995.
Oh, it sure was. I saw this version first.
With Sidney Pollack as a director. And Sidney Pollack is, we know him. He's a great director. He's also a great actor. Starring Julia Ormond as Sabrina. Harrison, she's stunning.
Beautiful.
Harrison Ford as Linus. The curmudgeon-y, crusty old Linus.
Can we just have a moment for Harrison Ford?
Can we?
What a guy!
What a guy!
We will be seeing. It's Valentine's Day. His new film, Captain America, has come out. Cannot wait to record about that. Love Harrison Ford. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Harrison Ford plays Linus. Greg Kinnear.
I love Greg Kinnear.
You don't ever think about him until you see him in something. You're like, we just love you, buddy.
He's not weird, is he?
I really hope not, because he's so great in all the roles that he plays. But he really is. I didn't think anyone could play the part of David better than William Holden until I saw Greg Kinnear, and he's
so charming in
that
movie.
He just really nails it.
Like oozes charm.
I love the character of David when he sits down on the champagne glasses on the tennis courts.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like out of commission for a number of weeks. And so Linus, the brother, has to entertain Sabrina. They end up falling in love. It's just a classic, beautiful tale. Julia Ormond's Sabrina really has, in the remake in 1995, I love that they give this character more agency and they give her more depth. Harrison Ford's Linus, love it. Greg Kinnear as David, very endearing and reckless. But, overall, I think that the film kind of stands alone for what it is. And it's very sweet. It's very funny. And it's just classic. Yeah. So pour yourself a bottle of champagne.
Please.
Open up a box of chocolates and enjoy both Sabrinas. Watch them back to back.
Why not? This list was so hard to make and narrow down. Because, again, I could just go on, and I'm not going to do that to you fine people. But this one is another one that I was obsessed with as a kid. It is, hold on, sorry, go back up to my notes.
Is it Pride and Prejudice?
It is not Pride and Prejudice.
Not Mr. Darcy.
I struggled to put Pride and Prejudice on here because while it is a romantic movie, that's, as we talked about in another episode, which you could go check out, that's my winter holiday movie. I love to watch that in December. So
yeah, I thought about putting Practical Magic on this list. And I was like, but it's a Halloween film. Exactly. But it's a beauable love romance. I love it.
So good. Okay. This film came out in 1998. And it, like I said,
same year as Great Expectations.
It just really holds a special place in my heart. It's Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, yes.
It was directed by John Madden and written by Mark Norman and Tom Stoppard, starring Gwyneth Paltrow.
She was busy that year.
She gave us the business in the 90s and 2000s. She did
Sliding Doors.
That almost made the list.
Yeah.
Skittle bit close.
So good.
But that movie I can't watch every year because it's just.
And there's 7.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Fucking Gwyneth Brad Paltrow. Pitt. Piece of shit.
Oh yeah, they were dating at the time. Okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, they had the same haircut, which was real stupid.
And wore the same jeans and outfits.
That was so stupid. Okay.
Yeah, he does that with all of them,
He does, and it's stupid.
I love that montage of photos that reveal that.
So great.
Okay.
Sorry.
We digress.
Yeah, so also starring Joseph Fiennes, who I had such a crush on. I love Ralph Fiennes.
Wait,
but
are they related?
Yes, they're brothers.
Really?
Yes.
Well, color me stupid. Here I am thinking that Ralph Fiennes is a one-off.
No, there's 2 Fiennes.
Oh my God. It's like the Skarsgårds. They're multiplying.
They're everywhere.
I got chills.
They're multiplying. Yeah, I had such a crush on Joseph Fiennes' Will Shakespeare in this movie.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Judi Dench as Queen Elizabeth.
Dame.
Yeah.
Judi Dench.
So good. Jeffrey Rush as... I don't remember his name, but he's got the accent and he's got the blacked out teeth. He's like, Will. He's so good. Colin Firth as the Earl of Wessex, who's trying to, who does marry Gwyneth Paltrow's Viola de Lesseps. It's such a beautiful movie. Oh, and Ben Affleck's in it.
We can just forget about that.
Plays Richard Burbage. He's actually really funny in it. Or is he Ned? I'd have to look. I can't remember. I should know that, but it's a great movie. I'm a historical fiction girly.
Yeah.
I love history. And this movie is a twist on the story of William Shakespeare. And there's been a few of those movies that I really enjoy, like A Knight's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of them where they use anachronistic language, modern music, modern references, but it's, set in Elizabethan England. And it's about, hotshot Will Shakespeare, who they have Joseph Fiennes in a deep, like, linen V-neck.
They really do.
The whole time.
The whole time.
And hey, I'm not complaining. I wanted Gwyneth Paltrow's hair in this movie. It's the like honey blonde curls. So good. Yeah, so Imelda Staunton is her nurse. So good. And it's Gwyneth Paltrow's character is a feisty young woman who doesn't want to just be like wed off to the marriage market. She wants to have adventure. She loves to act. She loves plays. And she disguises herself as a man and auditions for a play, which will be Romeo and Juliet, but it's first called Romeo and Ethel, the Pirate King's daughter.
Yeah.
And she, of course, her and Will fall in love, but she's betrothed to Colin Firth, Earl of Wessex, and
love Colin Firth.
He's got a jaunty pearl earring in this movie. It's a great romantic historical fiction movie, and I love it. It's beautiful. It won the Oscar.
It did.
For Best Picture, and people were pissed because it was against Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't care. I like this movie better. Gwyneth Paltrow won for Best Actress. There is some controversy, like retroactively, because I didn't include this in the show notes, but Harvey Weinstein produced it. And
I mean, you're just going to uncover that as you go throughout most of that time period of filmmaking up until a few years ago.
Right.
The Weinstein Company was huge.
They did they produced so many movies, but I guess the big controversy with this film was that he was paying off the like Academy and the media blitz and this and that. And it's like,
yeah, has much changed?
It's PR.
Yeah. That's what they do.
Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
They're doing it right now.
It's PR.
Yeah.
Anyway, I go back to this film all the time. I love it. I can't wait till my kids are old enough to watch it with me.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love this film.
Yeah, I love Gwyneth Paltrow. She has a night with Will and Imelda Staunton's characters, keeping watch, and they do what they do. And she knocks on the door. She's like, "My lady, 'tis a new day." And Gwyneth Paltrow opens the door, and she's like wrapped up in a sheet, and she goes, "'Tis a new world."
Yeah.
I love it so much. So good.
I've seen the light.
Yeah. Shakespeare in Love, Run, Don't Walk.
Very good.
Yes. Okay.
Speaking of Shakespeare.
Come on.
Much Ado About Nothing.
Yes.
This is going to be a very short recommendation, but this was 1993, directed by Kenneth Branagh, also starring Kenneth Branagh, Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
Robert Sean Leonard, Denzel Washington.
Fucking A.
Can
Denzel
we talk
in that
about
movie.
how great Denzel Washington
respectfully
looks in that film, as well as Michael Keaton, Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah. So stunning.
And Kate Beckinsale in her first film debut.
I always forget this was her first movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just a fun, very lighthearted movie.
Yeah.
It's just a feast for all of your senses and your eyes, and it'll warm your heart. So I love Much Ado About Nothing.
That's a good one. I love Kenneth Branagh. Also, really gave us the business.
He did in the 90s.
He did. I love his Hamlet.
Oh yeah,
Kate Winslet as Ophelia going insane lives rent free in my mind. Man, such a great film.
Yeah.
This one I really debated, but I'm going off of what I love, and I love to watch this movie. It's a 2011 film, Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay, I remember it.
Directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa, and written by Dan Fogelman.
Okay.
Starring Steve Carell, Julianne Moore, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone. It's such a great cast. Marissa Tomei is also in it as a completely unhinged, like 7th grade English teacher.
It is so good.
I love this movie so much. It is
Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling in this. I mean, their chemistry was set. In stone.
Hey, you look like you're photoshopped. This was peak
so good.
Ryan
memes.
Gosling hot.
Hot.
I use the gif
Buddy.
when he sees Steve Carell's New Balance shoes. I use
Yes.
that all the time.
It's so good.
It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. Steve Carell and Julianne Moore have been married for a long time. They've got 2 kids. They've reached kind of a place in the relationship where it's, I guess, kind of stagnant. And she admits to him that she had an affair with David Lindhagen, played by Kevin Bacon.
Love Kevin Bacon.
The amount of times they say, "You're David Lindhagen," like David Lindhagen, they say it over and over. And it's so funny. And Steve Carell throws himself out of the car. And it's just like this journey of,
Love a Kevin Bacon cameo, by the way.
He's unhinged in that movie. He's great.
Every cameo he's in, I'm just like, it's Kevin Bacon. Poor guy.
I love him. So it's, Steve Carell, schleppy. His wife has left him, but they've been together since they were in middle school. And he meets Ryan Gosling, who's a playboy, very stylish, very put together. He helps Steve Carell get his mojo back.
Yeah, it's kind of like 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's
yeah,
like,
but not as
what was
stupid.
the one with Will Smith?
Hitch.
Yeah, where you're like, okay, we're gonna teach you how to have swag.
Yes,
how to have,
and he does
confidence and what have you.
And it's comedy of errors. Ryan Gosling ends up taking home Steve Carell's oldest daughter. They don't know that they're all related. He falls in love with her, Hannah Banana. They the culmination scene where they all show up in the backyard of the house together because Steve Carell's trying to win Julianne Moore back. And Hannah brings Ryan Gosling's character, and Steve Carell's Cal is like, no way, abso-fucking-lutely not. And then David Lindhagen shows up.
Yes.
Ryan Gosling punches David Lindhagen. It's one
of those perfect endings.
It's so funny
of a comedy where everything really comes together very well.
There is a problematic storyline, like the son and the babysitter. I don't even want to get into that. Like that whole thing is odd, and it was 2011. Like we're not going to do that anymore. But it is so fucking funny. That movie is so funny. It's laugh out loud.
Thanks for that reminder. I need to go back and watch that. I hadn't seen that.
Crazy Stupid Love. You remember Marissa Tomei when she hooks up with Cal? She's like,
I love Marissa Tomei.
I do too. In anything. Fun. Yeah. Okay, Ryan.
Last one I have.
What do you
Then
have?
We'll get into our short honorable mention list.
Woo-hoo.
This film came out in when did this come? Okay. In 2008, there was a beautiful film called Nights in Rodanthe.
Oh, yeah. My mom loves this movie.
Okay. This is 2008. It's an adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' 2002 novel by the same name.
Yeah.
This was directed by George C. Wolfe. It stars our favorites, Richard Gere, who doesn't age.
Vampire.
Diane Lane, who
also
doesn't
vampire.
Age. In their third on-screen collaboration together after The Cotton Club, 1984, and Unfaithful.
Whew, that movie.
That is a great film.
That was an awakening for me.
That film came out around the same time with the Michael Douglas film with Gwyneth Paltrow. It's very similar, where she's seeing the artist on the side and he finds out about it and he tries to set up his wife. It's a remake of a classic story.
Oh, okay.
Film. Anyway,
I missed that one.
We're talking about Nights in Rodanthe. It takes place in Rodanthe, North Carolina. You have Richard Gere, who is a physician who is traveling to kind of clear his head and at the same time to apologize to a patient's family for having lost the patient on the operating table. And I think they're trying to sue him for malpractice.
I'm trying to remember.
So he rents out this coastal house on the beach. And the owner cannot be there, and so the caretaker for the weekend is Diane Lane, and so she's there to cook meals, refresh towels,
love it.
Take out the trash, and restock the fireplace. And if he needs anything, to reach out and let her know. He is this is one of my favorite Richard Gere performances because you can really see him struggle with the character, trying to process the grief of having lost a patient and then being sued and being, accused of having, done it through malpractice in some sort of way. And you see his anger and you see his frustration, but then he meets Diane Lane, who's also going through a divorce. She's a separation from her spouse. And the two of them just have this wonderful weekend together. There's a storm brewing in multiple ways. And they ride out this hurricane together in this house. And at the same time, they fall for one another. And it's just a beautiful romantic film. It's short and sweet. The two of them together, they could just read a phone book.
Oh, yeah. They have
great chemistry. And they're both just very easy on the eyes.
Yeah. They're great. I love that movie.
Great romance.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to watch it again.
All right, Jenny.
All right.
We have a couple of honorable mentions. We won't get into it, but we will mention the title and you can go check it out.
Yeah. So a couple of my honorable mentions. We already alluded to it. Sliding Doors.
Love it.
I love that movie so much. Gwyneth Paltrow and what's the guy's name? John Hannah. Okay. John Hannah. Love Sliding Doors. I don't even want to get into it. There's too much to get into, but it's great.
Check it out.
Yeah. Love and Basketball is one of my favorite romantic movies. I also really wore that VHS tape out as a child, starring Sanaa Lathan and Omar Epps. Story of two best friends, childhood friends, and their, journeys growing up and falling in love, falling out of love. It's a great movie. And then I don't know. I don't think I have any other ones.
I've got two.
Okay. What are your honorable mentions?
One is The Philadelphia Story. A classic from I think it's from the 40s. And it stars Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Cary Grant and Jimmy Stewart. Phenomenally funny film based upon the hit play that ran on Broadway for a number of years. Philadelphia Story is laugh out loud, riot funny.
Yeah.
Between all of these major actors, Katharine Hepburn,
never heard of her,
Grant, Jimmy Stewart. I mean, all of these powerhouses coming together and just socking you with comedy and love and romance. It's witty, it's quick, it's fun, it's sharp. Highly recommend it. It was remade later, I think in the 50s, and it was called High Society, that starred Princess of Monaco,
Grace
Kelly, and it had Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, and Louis Armstrong. Yeah, High Society remake of Philadelphia Story. Both hold up on their own accord.
I didn't know that.
I'm a Philadelphia Story fan, always will be, but I respect and I will watch High Society. It's in color. Philadelphia Story is black and white. And the last is one that we watched together this year.
I love this.
Nobody Wants This, which is a series, not a film, but a short series on Netflix.
Yeah,
that came out in 2024.
So beautiful,
it's so funny. But I remember watching this show and saying, I am in love with this show. This show has given me a new outlook on love and adult relationships and communication.
Yeah,
it is funny. So it is deep and profound and meaningful in many ways. And I highly recommend this if you're looking for a good date night or weekend binge with your significant other or just by yourself. Nobody Wants This on Netflix.
I've been seeing the announcements that season two it's in production. They're getting ready to start filming and I can't wait.
Huzzah.
We will, of course, list all of these in our show notes.
We will.
Yeah. And I hope you all have a very loving Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And get everything you ever wanted. All right.
Watch some films, enjoy some candy and
nice bottle of wine or champagne.
Just
treat yourself.
You don't
need anybody else to show you love. You can show yourself love.
That's right. Cool. Jenny.
Hello.
Did you change clothes?
I'm living my Downton Abbey lifestyle where you have to change outfits for each occasion in the day. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What was unhinged this week?
What wasn't? We are living in a crazy timeline. Yeah. So the Super Bowl happened. Yeah. Ever heard of it?
The Superb Owl. Yes.
Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl happened this last Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs
and the Puppy Bowl.
I don't know. The Puppy Bowl weirds me out. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't understand it.
Jen doesn't like dogs.
I've become a person that doesn't like dogs. I'm saying it here first. I don't.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So the Kansas City Chiefs faced off against the Philadelphia Eagles, and
And lost.
And lost.
How'd that
Their
work
tears
out?
will ricochet. Hopefully they can shake off their sad feelings.
How'd that work out for you, Chiefs?
Was it an honor to play in this? Okay, sorry, I'm feeling real sassy. Yeah, so the Eagles won.
Feeling like a tortured poet?
Travis Kelce might be.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay.
Okay.
So the Chiefs lost, and they lost pretty soundly. It was not a good game.
I for a moment I thought it was going to be a shutout, and I don't recall ever having seen a Super Bowl shutout.
It really seemed like it was going to be.
And that was going to be pretty exciting. I'm just so happy to see the Eagles win, and they look like they wanted it. They fought for it. They came out of the box like they were determined to win that game.
They outplayed
that was
the
impressive.
Chiefs.
They outplayed them. It's nice to see that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, look, you know this. Full disclosure, I don't follow a team. I don't have a team. I grew up close-ish to Dallas Fort Worth, and so most of the people around me were Cowboys fans. I don't care. Like I like to watch football.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but I don't follow a team. However,
I do like the New Orleans Saints. I like the camaraderie of that community, that town, and how they rally around everything that is important to them. And
New Orleans is such a special place.
It's a special place. So I do love the Saints.
I will say, since Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift started dating, I definitely jumped on the Chiefs bandwagon. I'm not cool enough to admit that. 1,000%.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was fun. It's fun to see their romance. It's been a whole really sweet thing. But I gotta be honest, in the presser,
has it run its course?
I don't know about all that, but in the press before the game, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, who's the quarterback for the Chiefs, were asked how they felt about playing in front of the president. And Travis Kelce said it's an honor to play for the president, no matter who it is. And it's the greatest country in the world, and it's an honor. And listen, that really just soured me a bit on Travis Kelce. I'm being completely honest. Yeah. I don't expect him, and we're not going to get too political here. I don't expect him to be like a political activist necessarily, or like make some massive speech about resistance or anything like that. This is where the crux of it is for me. The current president maligned Taylor Swift multiple times.
Right.
Was what, I don't know what tweeted, whatever the equivalent of tweeted is on Truth Social, publicly maligned and belittled her, encouraged his followers to belittle her. That for me, no, dog, you got to stand up for your partner. And again, he didn't have to be like, I'm going to meet that, motherfucker in the parking lot. Wish you would have, but you could have done what Jalen Hurts, who's the quarterback of the Eagles, said. Hey, I'm just here to focus on the game.
Yeah.
I'm here to play the game.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I don't know why. When I watched that, I just felt so disappointed.
Yeah, it was giving Ted Cruz vibes.
He was Ted Cruzing, and I will not apologize for that. He was Ted Cruzing.
Well, yeah, I think about it, and it's like, well, who hasn't that individual maligned and gone after?
Yeah.
It's very small, and you're right. There could have been a very easy way to just avoid that altogether by just saying, I'm here to play the game and I'm looking forward to it. And we've worked really hard this year, and I'm happy for everyone who's here to watch us play or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And move on with it. But I'm with you, considering that Taylor was really a direct.
The man put on social media, I hate Taylor Swift in all caps.
It's kind of hard not to, think about that after hearing his comments. Speaking of Taylor.
Yeah, here we go.
I thought it was very interesting during the Super Bowl when I guess the camera had panned over to her that there were actual boos.
So
several.
Lots of boos.
In her direction. Now, was it her or was it her entourage and the company that she was with?
So according to the internet, a lot of reasons. Some of it were like MAGA people, which is what Donald Trump, he put out there. He said MAGA is unforgiving Taylor Swift. Like, he was glorifying in the fact that she got booed. He also got booed.
Yeah, he had some jeers.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans booed her because she's from Pennsylvania and she used to wear Eagles jerseys when she would perform.
Okay, well, that is.
But at the same time, she's dating someone on the Chiefs. Like, let her fucking live. Who cares?
Yeah.
And honestly, and this is what one of my friends said, if that political group wants to boo me, I'm okay with it. Like, I don't need them to love
Exactly.
me.
Yeah.
It wasn't very nice. And that's what really irritated me even more about Travis Kelce is what did your comments about it being an honor do? He still went on and celebrated her being jeered.
Yeah.
If my partner, my husband, was asked about being around somebody who had publicly maligned me multiple times and was like, it's an honor to be in their presence, he's about to lose the honor of being in my fucking presence. I'll tell you that much.
RDIVORCE becomes final today.
That's it. Look, I expected it from Patrick Mahomes. His wife is very publicly pro that side.
Ugh.
Her family was up there. They were all taking pictures. Patrick Mahomes' mother is very supportive of that person. I didn't expect anything less from Patrick Mahomes, but I expected more from Travis Kelce. I'm disappointed. I am very disappointed.
I understand your disappointment.
Anyway, you know what else I'm disappointed in with him? That fucking Starsky and Hutch outfit he rolled up to the stadium in.
Hey, I'll say this.
No.
I'll
what
say
are you going to
this
say?
in the man's defense. What I love about Travis Kelce, and I see a little bit of myself in this with a lot of the stuff that we do, is he's down for the bit.
He is. He's committed to a bit.
He's committed to a bit.
I do love that.
And he's down to try, kind of push the limits on things. So I loved when he danced with Taylor Swift and her concert tour.
And
got out there and put that energy and effort out into the world. It's great to see a man put on a top hat and tails and dance with his gal
a dancer
on stage who's not a dancer
and
not feel like that's some sort of sissy thing to do. And likewise with the fashion. I love that he's putting himself fashion forward.
He is.
Do I agree with the outfit? No. Did he miss the mark? Maybe. But I mean, he could have walked on the streets of Copenhagen or Manhattan or Berlin or Paris tomorrow and no one would have blinked an eye. It's fashion and I'm here for it. Okay. And I think that he's not alone. I watched a lot of the photos of the players who came into the game carrying massive purses.
No, I'm here for that.
Call them a man bag or call it a saddle bag or whatever.
A saddle bag? Are they on horses?
It could be.
You mean a satchel? A saddle bag.
But I'm here for it. It's just it's impressive. The world that we live in where so many people are maligned for choices that they make freely to dress the way that they want to dress or appear the way that they want to appear, to have the NFL teammates coming into the game. And I know a lot of it is like some one-up and shit of like, hey, I've got a Gucci bag.
And I love
but
that.
It's fashion forward. I'm here for it. Men across America are watching other men carry purses into a game. And it's just the paradox there.
You're right.
Just
like
doesn't quite add up. And I like that. And I'm like, hey, push the limit, guys. Do I agree with every fashion choice? No, but there were some really good ones. The purple outfit that Jalen's got on.
He looks great.
That is stunning. I love the tribute to New Orleans with the purple. Very classy, beautiful Coach bag that you're carrying, my friend. I love the all denim on Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley. He looked great.
Yeah, the Canadian tuxedo. I'm with you there, buddy.
I love a Canadian
Looks
tuxedo.
Great. Love your bag as well. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, I love the bag game. Yeah. I didn't realize the bag game was so strong.
The bag game is super strong.
I saw that coat. That's an amazing coat.
Yeah. Stunning. I mean, coming in, Big Daddy with the cane.
Yeah.
This is Justin Reed.
Oh, yeah, Justin Reed. I love all the bag action.
I loved all these players that were just coming in.
Like that guy came comfy. He was like, yo, I'm going to be comfy.
Yeah.
Is he wearing his letter jacket?
He's wearing his letter jackets. It's fantastic. Yeah. So I was here for the fashion. And it wasn't just the game. The build up now to the Super Bowl is, weeks long, it seems like. Is really fun to see, but there was fashion all over the city.
Yeah.
And there were celebrities everywhere. So, for a week you're watching mega yachts come up the Mississippi River and dock on the French Quarter side. You're seeing celebrity chefs. Gordon Ramsay went to Parkway Po' Boys the other day.
Oh, he did. Parkway's so good.
And who else?
Travis and Taylor and the Haim sisters. went to Lillet, what's it called? They went to someplace.
Yeah, Lillet.
Yeah. Lillet, I think so.
Tim Cook, I think he went to Damasel's Po' Boys. It was great seeing all these celebrities go to these little dive jaunts in New Orleans that we love to go to, and see them just being tourists in one of the greatest cities in America. And so I was here for the fashion, here for the food, for a week leading up to this. A lot of money came into New Orleans, and so they brought
needed it.
They brought their A game, and New Orleans does need it right now after the terrible attacks that happened recently.
Yeah, we love you, New Orleans.
Lots of parties were happening around town. I know that the Benson, she threw a massive party for all the NFL owners. I think it was at City Park. And it was, private affair with, catered event and probably black tie and gowns. And that looked like it was really high fashion. GQ had a fashion show.
Saw that.
Their first ever fashion show that they're going to have surrounding the Super Bowl. And I'm really seeing
I love that.
Yeah. So there's another side to the game. So if you're not a big football person, but you're in on like kind of the culture that surrounds the people who are coming into the game, this is just another avenue and an outlet for more people to get involved in the Super Bowl celebrations. Let's talk about the halftime show, because one of my other favorite outfits was that of Kendrick Lamar's. I love those jeans. I couldn't stop looking at them, and I thought, I want them. And then I realized I think I have a pair of Lucky jeans that are very similar to
would
that
absolutely be Lucky
from the late 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, the early aughts. Like, I remember being in middle and high school wearing those jeans, and we would go to like the rodeo in my town, and it'd be muddy and everybody's walking, and your hems are just getting just muddy and disgusting, and we would wear them with flip-flops.
Madam.
Disgusting. I mean, when he showed up in those jeans, I was like, is that a boot cut? Is that a boot cut flare? A light wash boot cut flare?
Perfectly tailored.
Oh, Kendrick. I
Perfectly
mean,
tailored.
Say Drake. I loved the halftime show. I mean, going into it, I know Kendrick Lamar from, Sit Down, Be Humble. Mm-hmm. Some of the other stuff he's done. I know that he was featured on Bad Blood by Taylor Swift. I'm just not enmeshed in the rap hip hop world. Shocking. I'm sure shocking to know about me. But I knew there was like some beef between him and Drake, and I used to be a big Drake fan. I watched him on Degrassi when he came out, and
he's been on my workout playlist for
mid
like
2000s. I've enjoyed his music, but I haven't really been. I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get what all the hype was about with the Kendrick show. Like, is he gonna do Not Like Us? I'm like, what is Not Like Us? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But when Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam came out, I was like, oh shit. Okay, we've got something to say.
That was great. And they said it. And I love it. And that's it. So many people, want to talk. I've heard folks like, oh, that's the worst Super Bowl halftime performance in history. I'm like, okay, well, hold on. How cultured are you that you don't understand that this man is a poet first?
He won a Pulitzer Prize.
He is a poet first and a musician second. Yeah. And if you take the time to listen to what he's saying, he is speaking a lot of truths that the American people need to hear.
I agree. I mean, it was hard for me. Again, I've not got great hearing, so I watch everything with subtitles. So I didn't catch everything. But at the end, like, the look into the camera and the "Hey Drake," I was like, oh fuck. Like, and then the, A minor, you could hear even on my TV, the crowd screaming A minor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The dancers all black, the American flag, Serena Williams crip walking. Like, it was so intentional. And if this is a PSA from Jennifer Patricia Katz at Unhinged, if you didn't like it and you didn't get it, that's the point.
That is the point.
That is the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to be a rap fan. You don't have to be a fan of Kendrick Lamar.
No.
But if you're one of these people on Facebook, click, clack, and, complaining about rap music and it was a bad halftime show, you're the people that need to watch it. And you that's the point.
Yeah, he's a tremendous talent.
He is.
In many, many ways. I think he's a prodigy.
He's amazing.
And his mind is brilliant. I think his soul is very deep, and I'm here for it. I thought it was one of the best halftime performances that I've seen in quite some time.
It was. I mean,
it wasn't over the top. It wasn't super flashy. It was just enough where it was really all about what he had to say and less about the showmanship of it all.
No, and Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, and you know, he's encouraging Kendrick Lamar to play the game and to be the type of black man that is palatable for white Americans. And you know, what's the line, like, you got the right time but the wrong guy, like, and he teases Not Like Us, and he's kind of dancing around it, and then when he goes into it, it's he's intentional, he's thoughtful, he's poetic, and I was blown away. I have now gone down all the rabbit holes on understanding the Kendrick Drake beef, which we don't have to get into, but I mean, Drake, someone check in. He's probably not. He's got to be on.
I don't know if he's going to come up for air for a while.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, again, from the bootcut gene to the gleeful pettiness. Hey, Drake, say Drake, look in the camera. I loved it. I loved the halftime show. It was delightfully unhinged.
Yes.
And I loved getting on Facebook and seeing the conservative side of Facebook lose their mind.
Yeah. Would you say that they were all a Twitter?
They
or have they moved over to some other?
I mean, it was just so much platform. Like, can't we get somebody who can sing, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff.
And I'm sure they wanted Miranda Lambert or something like that.
Probably, Kid Rock.
Yeah. Okay, Jenny.
Ryan.
Speaking of unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that a 30-second Super Bowl commercial this year cost $7 million?
I did, and wow.
$7 million for 30 seconds. That's indecent proposal money. Back in 1993, Robert Redford offered Demi Moore.
He did.
$1 million for a whole night.
Inflation's a bitch.
Now, thanks to inflation, $7 million only gets you 30 seconds.
I thought my egg prices were going to go down, and I thought my Super Bowl prices were going to go down.
Talk about disappointing.
The commercials were pretty good this year. The ones that
they
I saw.
They were okay. Some of them, I'm like, why?
Seal as a seal is going to haunt my dreams.
Seal as a seal.
Fucking insane.
That was clever, and I'm here for that.
No, it was clever, but terrifying.
Terrifying at the same time. Like, just that image, I was like, oh, what is that? And then I heard the song. I was like, okay, that is funny.
It was funny.
But also cringy.
Yeah.
I loved Glenn Powell, Goldilocks.
Oh, my God, Glennifer. Again, how can they get that good of a wig for a Super Bowl commercial, and they give
could you loan that to Nicole Kidman
a bale of hay for baby girl, and they say do something with it.
That's great.
What the fuck? That one, I thought it was funny. It was ridiculous, but it was funny.
I rolled my eyes at the Ben Affleck Duncan commercial with Casey and Ben. I kept waiting for Matt. I'm like, at least give us Matt Damon.
Give us Matt Damon.
They mention him so many times, but they never give it to us. But they do give us something even better. And this is what made the commercial for me. Jeremy Strong.
Oh my God, I was cackling.
In the barrel of coffee. It was perfect. That was good. And hey, Jeremy, we have picked on you in the past.
We have.
And as have your colleagues, everyone that's ever worked with you. Thank you for committing to the bit.
Thank you.
Seriously.
That really warmed me a little bit more towards him.
You can poke fun at yourself like that.
Right.
And so it's good to know that you know that you hear it and you just don't care. I love that.
I do.
That's great.
That bit was funny. I did the Boston accent that Ben was giving us. I was like,
it was heavy.
It was.
Also, is he okay? He looks like he's been kind of roughed around a little bit.
I don't think he's well.
He doesn't look well.
He doesn't. But Ben, hope you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like the Super Bowl is always unhinged.
Yes.
But I do have to say, seeing Kendrick Lamar's spite and pettiness and his message, doing all that in front of the current president, makes me feel like I'm in the right timeline again for a minute.
And good for him.
The revolution will be televised, is what he said.
When he started that, I don't know if you've ever listened to The Revolution Will Be Televised.
Yes, I have.
From the 70s.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. I have it on my playlist. Comes on repeat about once a week. It takes some courage to stand up against folks who are going to malign your friends, your family, your loved ones, strangers who you don't even know.
Yeah.
And this is what we need at a time like this. So not to get too political, but we need creative types to express themselves so others know that they're not alone. And, we have positive messaging out there in a very dark world.
Yes. On that note,
Jenny,
Ryan,
thank you for listening to Unhinged.
You're so welcome.
These episodes come out every week. You can watch and listen to Unhinged on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Google Play.
You sure can. For more Unhinged content, please follow us on social media. We are at Once More Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads.
Unhinged is produced by us. I'm Ryan Something.
And I am Jen Katz. Cue the swelling love music.